It is Matt from Watch Mojo, and we are talking NCIS, the latest iteration with two recognizable people. Here to tell me all about it, we got Michael and we got Cody. Listen, this is fantastic that this has even come to be.
Well, we goddamn deserve it.
Okay, so my first question, take us back, first day on set, you know the story, you know where your characters are, and then the cameras start rolling. What was that like?
You'll only get like guttural sounds from us on that one. We waited a long time. We had not worked together in years.
A long time. Yeah, I think like three.
A long time.
It was like 3 different presidential terms.
11 years, I think. 11 years.
And that's no one's fault.
Yes, so that first day on the set,
There was a little bit of magic at one moment.
there was some
When
magic.
I met your eyes, your gaze.
But we were curious, I think, about what was going to take place. And that we were working with a lot of people that we'd never worked with before. You know, someone would say, are you left or right-handed? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm Tony DiNozzo. I'm right-handed. Like, what kind of question is that? And then somebody would be like, you know, would you respond that way? Why would you look at her like that? I'm like, because she just bent over to plug in the lamp and I'm just getting a better look. I don't know, that's my guy.
Woman hasn't been born yet who can intimidate Anthony DiNozzo. Mothers don't count.
We know each other and we know our rhythms and our vibe so well. So I think we jumped right in. It might have taken everybody else a second to come around to
You have to understand, it was a totally different set, completely different crew, new actors, new cast, new family dynamics.
New script supervisor, Sharky.
Knew everything. And so the only people that really knew the characters were us. And so we were relying really on each other to find the thing, which, by the way, we didn't really have to rely on because
No.
I feel it was right there. It was like
first-
instant
right.
soup.
That is so incredibly you.
I think at first people thought, are they okay? And then, you know, I think quickly realized that actually this is one of the reasons the mothership, the original NCIS, had such a loyal and still to this day has such a great fan base. It's because Mark Harmon and Don Belisario and the people who helped create the original sauce made something really extraordinary and helped us understand how to bring that in front of the camera. So that was kind of our charge with this one, is like, how can we make sure we honor the old show, but also create this 10-hour movie that can be on a streaming platform like Paramount and sit next to all the other great shows on Paramount Plus.
This is gonna be interesting. Just not the way you think.
Yeah, absolutely. And seamless, by the way. You guys nail it. I love chemistry, the magic. It's all still there. Fans are already loving it. You mentioned the mothership, the original NCIS. You guys did hundreds of episodes. One thing we love at Watch Mojo is Easter eggs, tips of the hats, callbacks. Are those, what can you tell us? Are there any of those?
Well, in season 1, we had a couple of mentions, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's in the last episode that aired, I don't know when this is coming out, but in episode 8, I go up to the security guard at this convention where there's all these terrible machines of death and weapons. I say, that guy giving you, your CO giving you trouble? Yeah, mine used to slap the back of my head, which of course is a Gibbs reference.
Gibbsian.
Don't strain your eyes, boss.
I grab Boris and I say, you remind me of a probie I worked with once.
He needed to relax. So do you.
I think, because we come from this beloved show, and that's where we met, meaning Tony and Ziva and obviously Michael and Cody, but you can't have the present without acknowledging the past. And so we do it seamlessly because they are part of the family. They're a part of our family. They're certainly a part of the story. And so it happens very organically. And the moment the writers were like, oh yeah, no, definitely, it was very easy for us to be able to, make a reference to McGee or make a reference to Jimmy Palmer or make a reference to Gibbs, which we did, throughout season 1.
And the last 2 episodes, 9 and 10 of this season, are directed by Dennis Smith. And so if you want to talk about an off-screen character who's been maybe as elemental and important to the series as Mark Harmon or Don Belisario, it's Dennis Smith. I think his fingerprints are over a lot of the scenes inside how our interactions are, how safe we felt, and when you have somebody guiding you that was there when you were 20 years ago doing a scene about characters' chemistry, you really are in a special pair of hands. So it's super cool. I'm very excited for the audience.
It was very emotional, we have to say, because we shot a scene that was very special to Michael and I.
It's okay to choose happiness, Tiva.
Kind of reveals a lot about what the characters go through and essentially why things work out the way they work out. So it's a pivotal scene, really. But we shot that scene last. So it was the last scene before everyone went away. And, it was shot in Tenerife, the Canary Islands. And I remember we finished that scene, and then it was time for Michael to say, "Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a terrific season," and then Dennis said whatever. And then I remember I just got emotional because it was Dennis from the mothership. It was Michael, and it was this, I couldn't believe that it was something that we had talked about that was in a way being explored the way we always dreamt of,
One ambitious mission at a time.
With ample amounts of time and this sort of very romantic backdrop of Europe and these wonderful characters, and we get to pay homage to these beautiful friendships from the mothership, and so it's like a full circle moment that was really beautiful.
Just co-workers.
And friends.
Very good friends.
Absolutely, it's a love letter, and I'm so excited to hear all of this because I am such a big fan. And I was trying to think, talking about pivotal scenes in this series. There's there's an intimate scene between your characters.
Pivotal.
You get it on. And I was thinking though, but I mean, in the original we had the epic kiss, but was there a traditional lovemaking scene between your characters?
No, a non-traditional, which meant we were playing we were part of Undercovers had a sort of sex scene that
which we had to make it look realistic, so it lasted 45 minutes.
Tony DiNozzo had to make it look very realistic.
You can't be too careful when you're undercover. Let's give it another 40 minutes, just to be realistic.
Realistic, huh?
That was an episode called Undercovers in season 3. It was very early on for the two characters, and we were undercover as a married assassin couple. So many of those...
And also under...
But so many of those episodes from those years pop up occasionally, like I'll be in a hotel room and it'll just be on the TV, or if I'm scrolling through and it pops up on the feed, if some scene, and I will see the two of us with Sean Murray McGee or Abby Polly Perret or Brian Dietzen, and we're doing some goofy little bit, and I have to say every time it warms my heart.
I didn't know your nickname was Honey Buns.
Only Naomi and I call him that.
We had so much fun making the show, and that it still resonates and strikes a real tone.
Now that we have the perspective of time, doesn't it feel like it was a really warm summer? Like,
nice.
one of those summer memories
Now that
you
it's
have.
autumn.
Now that you're wearing a cashmere sweater. No, but kitty tongue. Sorry, this is how we play.
I could watch that for hours. Okay, I think I'm down to 3 minutes. Got one question left.
Yes, let's do the fire round. Here we go.
Go.
That's okay. No, I have a fun one to end because I love, and I don't know what this says about me, but I like taking fictional characters and picturing them in fights with other fictional characters.
Okay.
So, Tony and Ziva, who wins the fight against Mulder and Scully? Another fantastic duo.
With all respect to those two and the performers and the characters, it's not even a question. I sit down and just have a glass of port while she just cleans the floor with...
I'll beat them up before they can.
Duchovny would try. Sorry. Mulder and Scully would try. I don't know why I'm giving David a hard time here. He didn't do anything to us.
Let's get out of here, Scully.
Yeah, come on. Until the aliens come down.
Pardon?
Now,
And then the aliens
Once the
definitely take our
UFOs or their UAP come into town, then we have a different conversation.
Then we just stand back.
Then I go for my second glass of port.
I agree, by the way. Listen, thank you all, both, for your time today. Really appreciate and loving the show. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
you.